Well, my promiscuous lifestyle ended abruptly on January 1st of 1997 when a funny thing happened to me. I fell a little bit in love. And the strangest thing about this relationship I had were the drastic differences between the two of us. For one thing, she was a millionaire. She had about $3-4 million. Me, I was dirt-ass poor and living with my parents. For another thing, I'm completely against reproduction because I do believe that overpopulation is the #1 problem facing the world today, and I think that everybody should stop having kids. Stop having kids. Stop having kids. And of course, the girlfriend has a 9-month-old baby. Now, I adore children, so I fall in love with the kid falls in love with me, and now I'm being a father figure to an idea that I do not believe in. And then, one day, the three of us went for a little camping trip in Mendocino, California. It was beautiful. It was the most meaningful experience I'd had in a long time. For the first time in a long time, I felt happy. We finished the camping trip, we came home. 2 days later, she called me up to tell me that she was a lesbian. Excuse me? Well, you know my friend in Texas? Yes? We were intimate. What? We were intimate. And she's moving out here to live with me and the kid. I don't know. I think that was it. That was the straw that broke my fucking back. I lost it. On top of everything else, this thing came up and I lost it. I said to the world, you know what, world, fine, you win, I quit caring about people and I quit taking care of people because I'm sick. I'm sick of life, I am sick of death, I am sick of love. I'm just sick. Everybody in this world is either gonna use you up and they're gonna leave or they're gonna die, so what's the point? What's the fucking point? We're all here for 4 reasons and for 4 reasons only, to eat shit, fucking die, and everything else is just killing time. I became useless, I became worthless. Well, not completely, I was still going to work and getting my job done. I was still going to band practice and being creative. I was still going to parties and being social. But if you wanna know the truth, I didn't give a rat's ass about any of that crap. The only thing in this world that I wanted to do was to sit in a dark room and watch TV. And in my spare time, that's exactly what I did. I sat in a dark room and I watched TV. I watched so much TV that I have now seen every episode of Matlock. And my emotions became completely irrational. I found myself crying at the weirdest of times, like during that TV show Family Matters. You know that show with Urkel? This is the stupidest show ever written. This is the worst writers in the world, the worst directors in the world, the worst piece of garbage that's ever been on TV, but it's on TV, so I'm watching it. And if there's a touching moment between Urkel and somebody else, I'm crying. And I'm not talking about just getting a little bit teary-eyed. I am borderline sobbing during Urkel. Christ, don't even put me in front of an episode of Little House on the Prairie. And my sense of humor became completely twisted. Not that it wasn't twisted before, but it became really twisted. I found myself laughing at tragedy. I found myself watching the nightly news like it was a sitcom. And if there was a car crash or a plane crash or some guy pulled out a gun and shot a bunch of school kids or they just died for no reason whatsoever, I'd be laughing like I'm watching an episode of Cheers. And my insane laughter isn't just reserved for tragedy, it's reserved for anything. I'd be ordering a turkey sandwich from Togo's. Hi, I'd like a turkey sandwich with provolone cheese, hold the mayonnaise, and I'd like a Coke. And my insane laughter wasn't just reserved for anything, it was reserved for nothing. I'd be walking down the streets of Davis doing nothing, and I'd just start laughing out loud. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! I felt like people were looking at me through the bookstores, the windows of the bookstores and the cafes, and they were saying, there's another one of the Davis crazies right up there with the crab, the guy that used to walk backwards, and the Asian lady who cusses at everybody. There goes the laughing guy. Stay away from him, he's the laughing guy. And I couldn't eat, and I couldn't sleep. And then one day I went for a walk in the park at like 4 o'clock in the morning with my dog Toby. I went to Community Park. I went out to the middle of Community Park. And I looked up at the sky, and for the first time in a long time, I just talked out loud, as if somebody was listening. I don't know if I was talking to God. I don't know if I was talking to my brother Dave. I don't know if I was talking to Toby. I don't know if I was talking to myself. But I just looked up into the sky and I said, hey, listen. Could you give me a sign? You know what? I hear that people get signs all the time. Could you give me a sign, please? I have to feel like I'm worth something, because right now I don't feel like I'm worth anything. Could you just give me a sign? The very next day, I got a phone call from a friend of mine in Belgium. He was a foreign exchange student when I was a senior in high school over 10 years ago. We don't talk too much anymore because he lives in Belgium. But the very next day, he called me up to tell me that he was getting married in May, and he would like it very much if I would be the best man at his wedding. It was my 4th gig as a best man. I suppose maybe I am worth it.